This is the 6-step blueprint that I use with my clients to make them lose around 30 pounds in 6 months without adding exercise and without counting calories. So yeah, you're 40 and over, nothing that you were doing before is working. You don't understand why you can't lose the weight. Maybe you're even eating only 1,000 calories, 1,200 calories a day, and you cannot lose the weight. And you don't understand why. People told you this menopause, perimenopause, and you are doomed. And it's not true. There are many things that you can do, and I'm going to teach you today the 6-step process that I use with all my clients. I have an average weight loss of 30 pounds in 6 months, depending on how much weight my client needs to lose, because if they need to lose 10 pounds, they're not going to lose 30, right? But in general, most of my clients lose around 30 pounds in the first 6 months without any extreme diet, without adding exercise to their plan. Exercise is not a key component of their weight loss. And the way we do this is following these 6 steps that I'm going to give you. Once you understand these 6 steps, things are going to click. Here's where you are going to understand why people get wrong the calories in, calories out. That is not all about calories. Yes, calories in, calories out is a thermodynamic law. You cannot avoid that. But we cannot take things and isolate them. We are a whole universe, our body, everyone. We are a whole universe of things happening that involve mindset, that involve hormones, that involve lifestyle. So we cannot isolate one single thing. If you don't fix these 6 things that I'm going to tell you, you're basically making dieting almost impossible. And there is where calories in, calories out fail. The first thing I fix or work with my clients is sleep. So the first thing I work with them is their nervous system. If we cannot fix sleep and we cannot fix the step number 2, which is cortisol, there's almost nothing that I can do to help them. Because I can give them a diet, they can follow it for a little bit, they're going to fall out of it, they're going to fall off track, and then that's it. And that's how people yo-yo diet. Without fixing your nervous system, it is almost impossible to lose weight. So step number 1 is sleep. There are many studies. I have a whole video about sleep and why sleep makes you fat. That if you don't sleep enough, it is not only harder to lose weight because you have more cravings, you have less willpower, but it also grows your belly fat. Even if you're not gaining weight, it moves your fat towards your belly. So sleep is the number 1 thing you need to fix. The amount of hours you sleep and the quality of that sleep. And that is very simple to fix with little lifestyle changes, sleep hygiene, and some supplements. Step number 2 is going to be to work on your cortisol curve to put it back in place. Cortisol is not the enemy, but it needs to be in the right numbers. The curve needs to go up in the morning and down at night. And most women in perimenopause have their cortisol dysregulated in menopause. Most women that I see in my practice have cortisol dysregulations. So we work on putting that cortisol curve back in place to sync it with their circadian rhythm. We know if cortisol is dysregulated, it affects the way you diet. It is not like it's a magic pill that is going to make you lose the weight. But if your cortisol is not in the right place, it's going to be harder to diet because you have worse mood, more cravings, you are fatigued, so you have less will to go to the gym or work out or move or do anything at all. You're wired or tired. Also, cortisol doesn't let you sleep, so these two fit each other. And we know that chronic high cortisol equals belly fat, gut inflammation. So that's the number 2. After that, we start working on the female hormones. And the first place we go is to rebalance the ratio between estrogen and progesterone. Women, we think it's all about estrogen, that our estrogen is declining because we're aging, we're getting into perimenopause, menopause, and it's estrogen. And yes, that is true. But the first hormone to go down is progesterone, and progesterone is a hormone that calms us. So this one, the lack of progesterone or the low progesterone, affects the first 2 steps, which are sleep and cortisol regulation. And it makes it harder for us to diet because, again, we are in a low mood, we don't want to move. It also, when progesterone is low, it makes us estrogen dominant, even if our estrogen is low. Because if this one goes down, this one is dominant, even if those levels are low. So you can be almost depleted of estrogen and still be estrogen dominant, which is going to make dieting hard and it's going to affect your mood. I usually do a validated assessment to see if there is the ratio of estrogen and progesterone is off. And with many clients, we run a hormonal test to see how the numbers are going. And that's also helps us to have a baseline for future. What do we get with this? Well, you're going to be less bloated, more stable mood. Your body is going to stop fighting weight loss because it's going to feel in a safe place. It also is going to help with brain fog, fatigue, So your lifestyle starts changing in a positive way. You start feeling more like yourself again. One of the most common things women that start getting perimenopause say is like, I don't feel like myself anymore. Like I feel like I'm moody, cranky, fatigued. I cannot recover. Like when you start fixing these things, like the first 3 steps, sleep, cortisol, and your hormonal ratio, your female hormones, you start feeling like yourself again. Also, if you're having hot flashes already, this improves, right? So there's just many things that get better. And if you feel better, it is so much easier to diet because you stop looking for comfort in food. Because you don't need to look for comfort. You're feeling good. Step number 4 is to replenish your minerals and electrolytes. So we run a hair and mineral test that is going to give us all the minerals, electrolytes, and heavy metals. And we replenish your minerals where you're depleted. These things affect your metabolism. If your body is depleted, if you don't have all your minerals in the right values, your metabolism slows down. So it is harder for you to lose weight. It also affects fatigue, brain fog, blood glucose regulation, sleep, because if you're depleted on magnesium, you're not going to sleep as well. Your nervous system is not calm. If there is an imbalance, you need to fix it. And most women 40 and over are depleted because of lifestyle, because of bad nutrition, and because of years of dieting and stress. Low minerals and electrolytes are going to impact your thyroid function. You're going to have poor recovery, fatigue, cravings, and salty cravings. Who has salty cravings? This comes from lack of minerals. So after we fix this, you're going to have better energy, improved metabolism, which is going to open all the fat burning pathways. You're going to feel stronger on your willpower, and it's going to be easier to stick to a healthier diet because your system is working. If the machine is not working, that's when you start wanting to eat all sort of crap, or you don't have the willpower to not eat certain type of things. So that was step number 4. Also, inside step number 4, there are heavy metals. And if people have heavy metals, well, those are toxins that you have in your body that you should get rid of them. So we can do a detox for heavy metals. And that, again, that affects and impacts your metabolism. And all those we do in phases. First, we fix sleep, then cortisol, then the hormones, then the minerals, because we cannot fix everything at the same time. But then step 5 is one that we do all together. So at the same time of all those 4 steps, we work on nutrition. It starts kind of hard and it gets easier and easier because as you start tackling these steps, the nutrition piece gets easier. And that's what we want. What do we do for nutrition? We basically try to do a whole foods diet. We start with an anti-inflammatory diet because of all the above reasons people have high inflammation. So we start with an anti-inflammatory diet, but we are not restrictive. What do I do with my clients? What's the guidance to put in a big picture for diet that we do that makes them lose the 30 pounds? We identify their non-negotiables. What are the non-negotiables? The things that you really, really love. We don't want to take away from your diet the things that you love because then you're not going to stick to this. The whole point is to find a diet, a lifestyle on your nutrition that you can stick to it forever. So why am I going to take away the things that you love? We start looking for things that, okay, you're eating these things that are high in calories, that are not going to help you in any way, and you don't love them, then let's swap those for healthier options, lower in calories. But you have freedom. You keep the things you love. We work on you understanding what foods make you feel better, which ones makes you feel worse. You are free. I don't give portions. I don't make them count calories, and I don't like super restrictive diets. And people lose 30 pounds. But you know what the holy grail of this is? That this nutrition comes with all the other steps that we fixed. Once you fix all that, it is so easy to eat well. And along that process, we work also on that relationship with food, which is going to be step number 6, the mindset. It's all here. Yo-yo dieting happens because there is no change within you. You grab one diet, let's say you're going to do keto. Okay, you stick to keto, you lose some weight, and that's it. And you're done because you cannot sustain it. But you didn't change anything in you, in your person. Nothing changed. Then you grab another diet, intermittent fasting, you do the same. You follow it until you cannot follow it anymore because it's not sustainable. Then you stop, and then you gain the weight back. And there you go. But why this happens? Because nothing changed in you, in your way of understanding things, and nothing changed in your system. Because when you just grab a diet out of nowhere, isolated, and you don't work on your sleep, you don't work on your cortisol, you don't work on your female hormones, nothing changes in you, so it is not sustainable. Well, if you fix all that, you still need to fix your relationship with food. And here's where the mindset comes. So I work with my clients a lot on mindset, on understanding the reason why we're doing this, the reason why we want to be healthy, on concentrating on the process, the person who they are becoming while they're losing the weight, and not on the weight. the new lifestyle and enjoying being healthy, enjoying eating healthier, falling in love with this new person they are becoming. And it sounds romantic and whatever you want, but those are the changes that are going to make you stick to whatever your healthy goal is. So mindset is a big piece. We eliminate the idea of cheat meals because they're not cheat. They're not cheating. They're flexible meals. There's many little things on the mindset that will make your approach to this process so much easier. So those are my 6 steps. Pretty easy, one after the other. You can follow them. Of course, it is for some things you need guidance because of the supplements to sleep. It depends. People ask me, what are the best supplements to sleep? It depends. Is your problem falling asleep? Is your problem staying asleep? Are you waking up at 3 a.m.? Do you wake up tired in the morning? The supplements are going to be different depending on the answers to this. Same thing on the hormones. Should I take them? Should I take some progesterone support? It depends. What are the symptoms you're having? What is your estrogen and progesterone ratio? So you may need guidance, but these are the 6 steps. This is a blueprint. This is what I do with all my clients, and they all lose the weight.